This company almost died on Christmas Eve. Twice. It was saved by a wire transfer that landed with minutes to spare, and the guy who ran it slept on the floor under his own desk because he couldn't afford to go home and rest. Today, that same company is worth more than every other car maker on Earth combined, and it doesn't even sell the most cars. Not from the safe bet. From a company that was broke, mocked, and shorted more than almost any stock in history, and somehow turned every single humiliation into fuel. Tesla wasn't started by Elon Musk. Most people get that wrong immediately. It's 2003, San Carlos, California. Two engineers, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, are staring at a spreadsheet. Everyone says electric cars are golf carts with delusions of grandeur. Slow, ugly, and about as exciting as a toaster. So what if we ignore that completely and build a sports car instead? A sports car with a battery. People will laugh at us. Good. Let them laugh right up until we pass them on the highway. They named it after a dead physicist nobody outside an engineering department had thought about in decades. Tesla. Not exactly a brand built for hype. In 2004, a wealthy PayPal co-founder wires in $6.5 million and takes a seat on the board. I'm not trying to run your company. I'm trying to make sure this company doesn't die before it proves electric cars aren't a joke. Duly noted. Also, we might need more of your money later. I had a feeling you'd say that. That man was Elon Musk. And for the next 4 years, later, kept arriving faster than anyone wanted. Tesla's first car, the Roadster, was basically a Lotus Elise with its guts ripped out and replaced with battery cells. Thousands of them. Wired together like a laptop battery having an identity crisis. It worked. It was fast. It was also brutally expensive to build, and the company was bleeding cash every single month just to keep the lights on. Then 2008 happened. The global financial system nearly collapsed, credit dried up overnight, and Tesla had weeks of runway left. Elon, I need you to hear this clearly. We have enough money to make payroll. Once. After that, nothing. And SpaceX just failed its third rocket launch. So both of my companies are dying at the same time. Yes. In the same month. I have to ask, is there a version of this where you just let one of them go? No. Musk put in the last of his personal fortune, borrowed money to cover rent, and moved in with friends because he genuinely couldn't afford both companies and an apartment at the same time. This wasn't a billionaire flexing. This was a man circling the drain with everyone watching. On December 24th, 2008, Tesla had hours left before the money ran out completely. Daimler wants in. They're offering $50 million. When does the deal close? Today. Today is Christmas Eve. I'm aware, if the wire doesn't land by end of business, none of this matters anymore. Then let's not miss end of business. The money landed. Tesla survived by a matter of hours, on a holiday, with a company that had already spent everything it had. If that wire had been late, there is no Tesla. There's a footnote in a business textbook about a car startup that almost worked. Surviving Christmas Eve didn't mean Tesla was safe. It meant Tesla got to try the next impossible thing. By 2012, Tesla launched the Model S, a real, comfortable, quiet electric sedan that could outrun sports cars off the line. It won awards. It won hearts. But Musk didn't want a boutique company selling expensive cars to rich early adopters forever. The whole plan since day one was never about selling 10,000 rich people a toy. It's about proving the tech works so we can build something normal people can actually afford. So what's next? A car for everyone. Cheaper, higher volume, way harder to build. How much harder? Imagine everything that almost killed us with the Roadster. Now do it 500,000 times a year. That car was the Model 3. And building it nearly broke the company all over again. It's 2017. Tesla promised hundreds of thousands of Model 3s. They delivered 260. Elon, we are nowhere close to the number we promised. Parts of this car are still being assembled by hand on a folding table. That's not a production line, that's a garage project. I know exactly what it looks like. We call it production hell, and we're going to live in it until we fix it. For how long? However long it takes. I'm not going home until this works. He wasn't exaggerating. Musk moved into the factory, slept on a couch in a conference room, then under his own desk on the floor, wearing the same clothes for days at a time, personally rewriting parts of the assembly line himself. My credibility, the whole team's credibility, it's all riding on this number. If we can't build this car at scale, nothing else we've ever done matters, so we don't sleep until it's built. Correct, they hit the number, barely, late, bruised, but they hit it. And once the Model 3 line worked, it became the best-selling electric car on the planet. Here's the part that made Tesla legendary on Wall Street, not just in a factory. Almost nobody believed this company deserved its stock price. For years, Tesla was one of the most shorted stocks in history, meaning thousands of investors were betting real money that the company would collapse. They're betting billions against us. Actual professional investors, not internet trolls, let them bet. Every time they're wrong, it costs them more than it costs us to prove them wrong, and they kept being wrong. In 2020 alone, short sellers lost tens of billions of dollars betting against Tesla. Over the years, cumulative short seller losses on Tesla stock ran into the multi-billions, including roughly $40 billion in 2020 alone. One hedge fund manager described it as the longest unprofitable short he'd ever seen in his entire career. This wasn't luck. This was a company that kept getting counted out yet refused to lose. By 2021, Tesla crossed $1 trillion in market value, something no car company had ever come close to. Not Ford, not Toyota, not General Motors, with 100 years and a dozen factories more than Tesla ever had. But the story doesn't get calmer from here. It gets messier because now Tesla isn't just a car company, it's a symbol. Musk's politics, his social media presence, and his side ventures, they all started bleeding into how people saw the stock. Tesla's vehicle sales have fallen for 2 consecutive years, and its once fat operating margins have eroded amid a price war in the EV industry. Competitors like China's BYD have closed the gap fast, at times matching or beating Tesla on price and charging speed. And yet every time analysts declared Tesla finished, the company pivoted into something nobody else was even attempting. Robotaxis, humanoid robots, in-house AI chips, betting the entire future of the company on ideas most of its rivals treat as science fiction. The government is investigating our self-driving claims. The SEC is watching your tweets. And half of Wall Street thinks the robot thing is a joke. Sounds like a normal Tuesday. That's the whole pattern, repeated for over 20 years. Broke, mocked, doubted, nearly dead on a holiday, saved by minutes, and then somehow standing taller than the people who bet against it. 2 engineers with a spreadsheet, a dying company saved by a Christmas Eve wire transfer, a CEO who slept under his own desk to hit a number everyone said was impossible. None of it was supposed to work, and yet here we are watching a company built on a dead physicist's name outlast every single person who said it couldn't be done.